Let's do a test to see if height and weight matters at all in college football 25. I think this test is really going to surprise you because it definitely surprised me, man. We have a couple different ways. We're going to test whether height matters with receivers and cornerbacks, and then we're also going to test if weight matters with O linemen and D linemen as well. So the first test we did is with the receivers and cornerbacks, and that's the test if height really matters. So guess what? What I did is I have a receiver. I made his height 5'5". That's the shortest you could possibly be in this game. And with the cornerback that's going to be guarding our 5'5" receiver, I made this guy 7 feet tall. Made him a 7-footer, didn't change his height. His attributes are exactly the same, and both these guys' attributes I did not change. But for the following test, what we did is we did the opposite. We made this cornerback 5'5", and we made the receiver 7 feet tall. And I did exactly 20 attempts with both of these guys, and I threw lob passes. I'll show y'all exactly what I did here, man. Come in here. We have our 5'5" receiver matched up against our 7-foot corner, and whenever the receiver hit the 50-yard line, all I did was throw a lob pass. So we tap the button, throw a lob pass to our 5'5" receiver, and he catches it. Sometimes we get that animation. Sometimes the defensive back makes a play on the ball. We did that exactly 20 times to test to see if the taller player going to get better results. Obviously, he's over a foot taller than the other guy, so you would expect the taller, whether it's corner or receiver, to always get the better results. And we could look at the stats of the receiver just so you have an idea. Like I said, we did not change any attributes. The only variable here has been the height, man. The only thing we changed from, receiver to cornerback has been the height, man. Route running, deep route running, 92. That probably matters the most. Spectacular catch, only 82. You see all the catching ratings, man. Elusiveness, 95 speed on them. You see all of the wide receiver ratings. Then let's go over to our cornerback, who I believe has 99 speed. He do 99 speed. So he was never getting burnt. It was always a situation where it was either a jump ball or the receiver catch the ball around him, kind of just glitched out a couple times. And you see catching rating, all of this, the coverage, every single one was in man coverage, what this corner is best at. So the first round of this challenge, y'all see it playing out on the screen, man. Like I said, we threw this ball exactly 20 times, same exact pass. Whenever it was an incompletion or an overthrow, I should say, whenever it was an overthrow, I did not count that, man. I voided that attempt. But whenever the defensive back made a play on the ball, or the receiver actually caught the ball, or if the receiver caught the ball then dropped it because the defensive player made a hit on the receiver, I counted that as well, man. So 65% of the time when the cornerback was 7 feet tall and the receiver was 5'5", the cornerback made a play on the ball, man, which is good. You expect that, man. 65% of the time, that equals out to 13 out of 20 of these attempts that cornerback has made a play on the ball, and he caught two interceptions in total out of these all of these attempts y'all seeing on the screen. Now the reverse of that, when the receiver was 7 foot tall and the cornerback was 5'5", we seen something different, man. We seen the receiver catch the ball 70% of the time. 14 out of the 20 attempts, the receiver has caught the ball. The cornerback didn't make any plays on the ball, didn't make any interceptions. When the cornerback was 7 feet tall, he caught 2 interceptions. But this go around, when the receiver was taller, he caught the ball 70% of the time. So what this tells us? What this actually tells us is that height actually matters when it comes to receivers and cornerbacks. And obviously, it's the way different ends of the spectrum, man. You always got a 7-foot receiver versus a 5'5" corner. So obviously, it's a big difference. But if height didn't matter at all, we would have seen this be a lot more even. It might have been 50-50, but we see a big difference between the guy that's taller making a lot more plays on the ball than the shorter guy. So that tells us height actually matters in this game. Something I questioned. I wasn't sure, man. I wasn't sure if height mattered in this game because at time I generally feel like it did not, but now we know. But obviously it's such a big gap. I do wonder if you have a 6'5" receiver and a 5'11" corner, in that situation, does height really matter? I would assume yes, but we might have to do that test later on. All right, so with this next test, I want to do something with the D-line, and for this one, we're going to have 2 different save files, and we're going to sim a year. We're going to have this guy as his normal height and weight, And we're going to focus on him because he has phenomenal finesse moves. 98 finesse moves, block shedding is what it is. But we're going to make sure he's starting at rush defensive end, also, you know, regular defensive end. And we're just going to sim a year. I want to see what type stats he put up this first year. We're going to force win every single game, so record does not matter. We're going to make sure these guys have the same exact record and hopefully similar production. Then we're going to lower his height and weight. We're going to lower it to the least it could possibly go. So 5'5" and whatever the least you could weigh in this game. We're going to do that sim a year, and we can compare the stats and see if it's the same. If it's similar, then we know that height and weight really don't matter in simulation, and that's what I'm assuming. I feel like it probably don't matter in simulation. When you actually playing the games, it might matter, but I really don't think so when it comes to D linemen, O linemen, but that's why we're here to test it. If y'all boys enjoying the video, like, comment, subscribe, check out the ebook, the subscription down below, the membership, all of that. We also have a monthly email list where every month I'll send you guys an email of a Dynasty challenge of a month, and I also have some other random stuff related to Dynasty for you guys. And if y'all interested in my 32 user online Dynasty, I also will send a link to that Discord in that email. All right, so we simmed the year. We're 12-0 obviously, and let's look at the stats, man. We're just gonna do the first 12 games, and let's see how did our guy produce? What type stats did he put up? And we mainly looking at the sack numbers. And where is he at? He put up, it looks like 11 sacks, which is solid. 11 sacks, 8 tackle for losses. Those are the main things I'm worried about here, man. So 8 and 11 is the numbers to remember. All right, so for our same guy, Carter, we're going to come in here, and guess what? We're just going to lower his height and weight to the lowest number it could go to, man. Like I said, it's going to be 5'5". And the weight, I'm not sure what the lowest he could go to. But we're going to sim a year, and look how small he looks, man. 5'5", 160. And if he picks up similar to the same stats, like we know that height and weight really do not matter in simulation. So he's starting at, you know, same exact position. Everything is the same. All we got to do is sim to week 15 and also force the losses. Let's not forget to do that, or force the wins. And then we'll go 12-0 once again, and we'll see how he does. Simulation is done. Another year of 12-0. Let's come in here and let's see. How did our D lineman do? Did he put up similar numbers? And I mean, 8.5 sacks and 5 tackle for losses. I mean, the numbers are lower. 100% the numbers are lower. But 8.5 sacks, 5'5", 160 pounds, 30 tackles. I believe last time he had like 36, 38. So the numbers are lower for sure, man. About what, 2.5 sacks lower, 3.5 sacks lower, and then also what, 3 tackles for loss lower. I still would consider this like height and weight really do not matter, or at least for simulation, man. Because every single time you sim, the numbers are going to be different. But I feel like we should have seen a way bigger gap. I feel like he's 5'5", 160 pounds, man. This man should have put up 1 sack, if that. 1 sack, maybe 2. He's 160 pounds, 5'5". But you know, I would determine this height, weight don't matter. Obviously, the sample size is not big enough. For this, we only did 1 attempt. For the last one, we did 20. We only did 1 attempt, man. I feel like, you know, for simulation, especially for the O-line, D-line, it does not matter. And I'll show y'all more proof here in a second. Coming over here to my Baylor quarterbacks only rebuild that we dropped on the channel recently. If you want to see it, go check it out. But for this rebuild, we literally only recruited quarterbacks. Every single position, we move a quarterback to that position. So we have a right guard, 201 pounds. He's a former quarterback. You know, he has 73 strength. He's not the strongest in the world, but he's a former quarterback in every single position. So our whole O-line here is former quarterbacks. 207 pounds. Our center, 219 pounds. 187 pounds. You see our whole entire team, former O-linemen, or excuse me, former quarterbacks. And we won a national championship with this, man. This rebuild lasted until we won a national championship. And we played some of the games. Like, we would hop into the games, especially the postseason. We hop into every single postseason game. And I never felt like I was a liability. With our O-line men being 200 pounds, 180, I never felt like they was a liability. We still could run the ball. Was it great? No, but we still could run the ball. You know, we still get past the ball, also drop back and pass. The stats are good on these guys. They have developed pretty good strength. All these guys are pretty solid players, and I never felt like we was at a liability. Even with the D-line, man, I felt like we was still able to stop the run. These guys, they developed the strength crazy. I dropped the video, I believe, yesterday on just moving offensive guys to defense, and you see here they just developed this 99 strength even though he weighs 196 pounds. Is it realistic? No. Is it cheesy? Yes. Can you do it? 100%, man. And we done it here for the rebuild because obviously it was a challenge rebuild. But in this situation, I would argue for the O lineman, D lineman, strength, or not strength definitely matters, but height, weight don't really matter, especially with simulation. I believe we went 16-0, or maybe we didn't. Let's see, man. Before I start lying to you guys, we went 14-2 before I start lying. So we lost 2 games, but you see here the last couple years, 14 wins in back-to-back years, and we're doing a lot of simming. Like I said, we was only really playing the postseason games. Whole regular season we was simming and we was dominating with this quarterback-only roster that had low strength at some positions and also, you know, low height, also low weight, and we still was able to dominate. So in simulation, I don't really think height, weight really matters, but when you're throwing lob balls to receivers and cornerbacks, I think height and weight does play a factor. Maybe not weight, but definitely height plays a factor in that situation. So I hope y'all learned a little bit in this video, man. We covered a lot. So to sum it up, man, cornerbacks, receivers, height does have an impact, man. The taller the corner, the taller the receiver, the better chance you have to either break the ball up, pick the ball, or, you know, just play the ball is what we seen in this experiment. Also, that leads to my next point. When you're recruiting and you want tall corners, your best bet is going to be the athlete receiver, moving them to corner, because then you're able to get some 6'5", 6'6" corners, and they convert to slot corners. So just, you know, when you're recruiting, keep in mind these wide receivers, these athlete wide receivers that can move over the corner, because some of them come in 6'4" like this, 200 pounds, and he could also have pretty good speed. And now that you know height actually plays a factor, you want taller corners that's still fast, and you'll get that with these athlete wide receivers right here. Also, we learned, or we really confirmed, that height, weight really do not matter for the O-line, especially when it comes to simulation, man. You're still able to win games with O-linemen that's small, that's, you know, don't weigh a lot, and also is short. And we seen, you know, a defensive lineman still put up a lot of sacks. It wasn't as many as the first time, but still put up a lot of sacks and tackle for losses as, you know, a 5'5", 160 pounder. So in simulation, I really don't think height, weight really matters for O-line. And in actual gameplay, I don't think it matters too much. Like I said, we did a whole rebuild where I played games, and I did not feel like I was at a liability by having smaller, shorter players out there than my opponent. And we also was playing on Heisman difficulty as well. Y'all let me know anything else I should test down below. If y'all want to see this Baylor rebuild, click the video on the screen now, but we on to the next one.